Hey all, Elliot Pasatino, comic book fanatic and comic book historian since the age of 8 years old, talking about Margaret Stohls' Super Visible, an incredible showcase and collection of interviews with women artists, directors, editors, letters, inkers from Marvel Comics from the 70s into the present day. This is an incredible book for anyone that loves comic book history or history itself, or just wants to know about how women have changed the life of our world through comics. Marvel Age was the comic book I just did, starting at age 8 or 9. It would talk about the behind the scenes, Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief, all these different people, Roy Thomas, Stan Lee, talking about women that were creating our comic books that I loved. I even understand that, wow, women could actually write and draw comics. That's where I found out about, amongst many others, Innocenti, writer, editor, assistant on Daredevil and Wolverine and Punisher. And Margaret Stohl collects all these women in amazing interviews taking place over the last 10 years for Super Visible. I mean, you learn about Louise Severin. I don't even know about her. She was incredible artist, editor, color, drew sketches of all the women and men in the Marvel bullpen in the 70s and 80s. Just an incredible artist that I never knew about. Flo Steinberb, the right-hand woman of Stan Lee, that if it wasn't for her, amongst all these other women, we wouldn't have half the things that Stan Lee made. And then, of course, Louise Simonson, the GOAT. I first learned about her when I was 12 years old. She wrote the best storylines of Thor and so many other books, created Power Pack, and we have other women that created the X-Men animated series. Without them, we'd have no cartoons. Well, you wouldn't have women like this that created Marvel Masterworks, collections of the original Marvel comics that I've loved. There's so much amazing art and photographs, along with so many interviews across the decades from all these incredible unsung heroes of comic books, comic book history. I would have liked to hear more about the 70s and 80s storylines, and not so much the grandizing of Marvel and the promotion of Captain Marvel that the end of the book becomes. But at the same time, it's an incredible book, incredible showcase, whether you know your comic book history or not, and want to know more about women and feminism and things that changed our life without even knowing about them in the Mad Men era and on. This is a great book. Pick it up, and again, props to Marie Severin, who's just inspired me so much yesterday seeing her art and all the women that are showcased in this book, especially the ones in the 70s and 80s that created the artist I am and the comic book fanatic I am. So thank you, Margaret Stohl, for this amazing book. Go check it out. You'll love it. Excelsior.